Hey everybody, this is Jacob Belgium, aka Schwab Cards on Instagram. I'm a sports card collector, among other things. Today, I'm going to teach you how to dominate at card shows. I'm inspired from the National not being there, and I'm I'm a little put off by all the comments I see surrounding the National and how much people don't understand how to dominate a card show. It's really not that hard, but I'll admit it does take experience, it takes knowledge of the game, it takes love of the game, and it takes bringing enough cash in your pocket to really make some headway. So, if you want to no longer be complaining about, X, Y, or Z at a show, and instead just dominate everyone you go to, watch further, listen up. So first things first, if you want to succeed at a card show, never be the guy that's complaining about comps, about how comps are too high, dealers, it's outrageous. Who cares? There's so many deals to be had. You just need to find them. First of all, to complain about comps, guy, are you buying cards that have dozens of sales on eBay such that you could easily say the dealer is too high? If so, why are you trying to buy that card at a show? To an extent, almost, why are you trying to buy that card at all? I mean, if you want the card, if you like the card, fine. But if you're trying to build a collection that you're going to love for the long term, that will hold value in the long term, I think it's less likely that that's going to be a card you're going to hang on to for life. But that's just my own observation. The reason why this is weak sauce is that if that card is selling that commonly, that often, there will be at least one dealer at a big show that has it for the comp or less than the comp. So if you're that desperate for that card, just keep looking until you find it. Or better yet, buy it on eBay or don't buy it at all. You're not at a show to buy a card now this is me personally. You shouldn't be at a show to buy a card that sells for $40 3 times a week on eBay for $35. Save a few bucks. That's not my mindset at a show, and to me that's, to an extent, wasting the potential of a show if that's what you're trying to do. And here's why. Let's say I have $500. Not a ton of money for a show. I'd like to carry a lot more, but let's say I have 500, and I really want a Ja Morant Prism 10 base. It sells for $200, but I want to get it on sale for $190. I drive to a show, let's say it's 2 hours away, spend all the gas, all the time to get there, and I buy a few cards, I owe the grader $100, and all I have left is my $200, and great, I got this Ja Morant for $190 instead, and I have $10 for my Happy Meal afterward. What did I really achieve that day? I took 6 hours off my life. I spent more than I saved on gas. Sure, I guess you have the experience, but I literally lost money on the whole transaction, all in the name of saving a few bucks off a comp on a really common card that sells all the time. Now again, you can do that if you want, not really my bag, and so that's that's lesson number one. Do not be, comps are too high, guy. No one wants to hear it, dude. Number two, this is so big. I can't stress this enough, guys. The number of people I see on Blowout or guys I talk to who say, the dealer didn't have his cards priced. That's a sign of laziness. I don't want to waste my time. Blah, blah, blah. He'll just look every card up. Therefore, if I see a dealer that doesn't have prices, I'm just moving on to the next booth. Guys, I understand the frustration, but you're missing out big time. You are so missing out. And here's why. So if I see a dealer that doesn't have prices, that to me signals opportunity. And I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. I have done so well over the years with this strategy. If I see a dealer without prices, that tells me a few things. One, perhaps he is too lazy to set prices. That means he also might be too lazy to look them up. If I hand them some cards and ask him, what do you need for these? For two, that also might signal that he has a lot of cards, a lot of good cards, a lot of cards that maybe don't sell that often, where it's not so easy to price them just by logging into a little card ladder or whatever. So we might have a little more rarity, a little more quantity, a little more quality. Never thought about that. Yeah. No, these are things I've just learned along the way. I'm giving you some logic to try to help you believe what I'm saying. I mean, you could just take my word for it, and I think that would be reasonable because I have the experience. I can back it up with the results. I built my collection this way. This is how I've done it. It's not through making a ton of money and just putting a ton of money on the table, sports card investor style, watching my collection fall and then talking about how much my collection is worth, how much I value my collection. It's not how I do it, guys. This is how I do it. So that's why. And the number of times I run into this situation, it happens all the time. So if I hear that from a dealer, okay, it's time to dive into some boxes, because those boxes, he might not even know what's in there, guys, if he has a lot of boxes. So you go in, you start looking for anything that looks interesting, anything you think, the dealer might undervalue this. Or my personal special is just, hey, if any time in the last few years I would have wanted this card in my collection, or if I know I wanted it in my collection now, yeah, I'm putting it in the stack. Some of these I might end up selling. I don't need to keep every one. And the ones that I do end up selling will allow me to make the margin on this deal that allow me to keep PC cards almost for free, or even at a gain sometimes. Guys, I do this a lot. It's totally doable. So you just start looking. And frankly, the bigger stack you can get, the better off you are. And here's why. If I hand them a stack of 3 or 4 cards, the dealer may very well just look them up on eBay, quote you the eBay price, or tell you, hey, because I like you, you've been looking for an hour, I'll knock $5 off. Okay, a lot of good that did me. And so, but mind you, sometimes that's all the dealer has that interests you. So that can happen. Not every deal is going to be this huge win. Not every table is going to be a gold mine, either monetarily or for your PC. But if you can start pulling out a dozen cards, 20 cards, 30, 50, better yet, 100 cards, this is how it's done, guys. You pull out like 100 cards, the dealer, one, he's so excited that he's going to make a deal this big. A lot of people have walked right on by because he hasn't had anything priced. He's excited he's going to maybe make a deal. He's just seeing dollar signs in his head. But you might thumb through them once. You might pick out 1 or 2 cards that he's like, is that card sold for a while? That old black refractor looks kind of rare. Drew Brees is a good player. Maybe I should look that one up. But the rest, guys, 98% of the time, they will just tell you a price and you will go, whoa, that's low. That's good. I like that. And then nonetheless, you'll still you might say, I'll do $575 for the lot. And even if you know there's $1,200 in cards there, you're like, I was really hoping to pay $500. Guys, it's taking candy from a baby. It works every time. And then maybe the dealer will say, yeah. Maybe the dealer will say, I still need the $575. And then you hem and haw and you take it. Or a lot of times the dealer will be like, $5.25. And you'll be like, all right, I'll do it. Meanwhile, you still got the whole stack for half of what it should be worth. This strategy, guys, it's almost foolproof. The number of times I've done this, it's really too easy once you gotta get the hang of it. But the key is to have enough cash to where you can actually pull this off. Guys, bring more. This is not investing advice at all. Obviously, it couldn't be taken that way. But I always tell people to bring more cash, honestly, almost than feels comfortable to a show. I mean, if you're struggling to make rent, if you're struggling to put gas in your car, if you have a kid at home, obviously you need to be more judicious. But if you're at a stage in life where you have your own place, you got a steady job, you bring in more money than you spend, and you think you know what you're doing in this hobby, to bring, I don't know, a few $100, you're costing yourself so much in the long run in terms of building a collection or building a little stack of money to put toward a collection. You're losing big time, because if you find that guy that has a stack of cards for $1,500 that you know is worth $3,500, and you only brought $400 to the show and a couple of SGC slabs to trade, you're gonna hate yourself. And if the dealer says, I only deal in cash, well, tough luck. Just don't make that mistake. Don't be that guy that doesn't have the guts to bring the money and follow through on a big deal. Just don't do it. You'll regret it. Lesson number 3. This is another big one. These are all super important, guys. I cannot stress this enough. At your local show, or especially the national, just take these to heart. Huge mistake is to only look at showcases. And here's why. Dealers are less likely to price and just really care about the cards that are in their non-showcases. Let's say their showcase has cards totaling maybe $100,000. That tells me they got a lot of nice cards. And if they have 4, 5, 6, 3-row boxes, top-loaded cards next to those that are, he might say anywhere from 10 to 200 on those. If they're not priced, even better, because then you can go to number 2 and really make some hay. But even if they are priced, these guys with the huge big showcases, they're moving these in the 3-row boxes as gravy. Those are the cards that they'll say, oh, I can pay my booth fee, I can pay my hotel, my airfare with those sales, because those are the sales they're getting from customers they're buying at collections for 20% of their value. So they'll give them to you a lot of the times for 50, 60%. They don't care. They're still doing well. They're still getting their money in cash. So it's all good for them. So if you're only looking at showcase cards where people are going to be the dealers are going to be most aware of the most current price, up-to-date price on those. They're going to want to get their high price, because especially at a big show like the National, there will be whales who are happy to pay over comps for cards they don't see every day, for cards that they just really want, that they can afford to say, yeah, so what, I paid a little extra. I'm a boss, I'm a whale. It's the perks of being a boss, being a whale, owning your own business, what have you. So they don't care. They're not over here whining about, oh, he was 2x comps. They don't care. And the dealers know that. So they're gonna be higher on showcase items. Why wouldn't they be? Because they can always come down. They can't go up. Although I've seen a few dealers that have tried to do that, and those are dealers that I truly don't deal with anymore, including I had one at the local show. What a schmuck that did that one time. But if you're thumbing through those value boxes on dealers with showcases that might seem overpriced, the cards in the 3-row boxes could just as easily be great value. And especially if you pull out that big stack, the dealer gives you 25% off on that. Great. You can even take some of those cards, sell them back to some other dealer, get some of your money back the same day. I mean, it can really be that easy, guys. All in all, take these 3 lessons to heart, and just every show you go to, know that there is basically boundless opportunity. There is always opportunity. You just need to look. You need to know your stuff. You need to know, hey, this set has this weird parallel that a lot of people wouldn't be able to identify, but here it is in a dollar box for $2. It's actually worth $100. I mean, some of these strategies are things you see in the Card Collector 2 videos. I don't really watch them much, but that's a lot of what he'll do, is pull out a stack and get a little money off, and it seems to do okay for him. Mind you, he has the he's got the brand built in to where people want to sell to him, and they want to sell their cards to him at a discount. So good for him. He's built it, but you don't even need to have the brand. You just need to have the brain, the courage, the fortitude of the babies down south. Just make it happen. There will always be dealers that have overpriced stuff. There will always be dealers who don't have prices on their cards or have showcases that are overpriced, but there's always a value box, always a seller desperate to make a sale, and there's always an opportunity. So I wish I could have been at the National to make this all happen, but next year in Chicago, I will be there. Hopefully I'll see a lot of you there, and that's what I got. Thanks for watching, guys.